reversals of Condoleezza Rice. But when I could reverse him, he basically said, I'm guessing. And then he made a reference to they're leaving in May. And I knew then that when he said twice, I'm guessing, he was trying to fit an interdimensional thing into a 3D paradigm. A ship, he wouldn't know that the reptilians are leaving on a big ship. So when he hears ship, he's thinking of a ship in the harbor. You know, he was putting two and two together. I mean, he was really trying to get the good stuff, but he was guessing.
Now, with David Oates, he would hear owl, and he would hear certain animals or different nouns, and he would assign a metaphor to those that were different than the metaphor that you assigned to him.
Yes.
And can you talk a little bit about the differences between you and Oates in regard to the interpretations?
Well, he sees all reversals as parts of the mind, metaphors for different things going on within your mind. And I see them as that plus interdimensional activities. And so when he sees the owl, which is the number one metaphor for this reptilian group, he calls it the higher wisdom of the mind. When he sees snake and serpent as snake being deceptive, serpent being healing. I see it all as talking about these reptilians. The net he sees as confusion within your mind. The net is a frequency around the planet that holds us in. So if you're not looking at things interdimensionally, if you're just seeing them as parts of your psyche, you're going to get different things.
Now, David Icke is probably the most prominent researcher who's well known for his reptilian research now. Originally it was conspiratorial and government control, and it evolved for him into he put the pieces together and came up with the same types of things that you're coming up with. How has reading Icke, if you have read him or speaking with him, how has he influenced you?
I couldn't read David for quite a while, just couldn't get through it. And I do think he's probably more accurate in his take on this and on the history of this group with the secret societies and all that. Very, very accurate. He's very congruent in reverse. He does not get into the meat-eating aspect of it on the other side, although he does talk about them consuming flesh and blood during their satanic rituals. But that's more of a ritualistic thing. The people on the other side of their daily fare, they have restaurants on the other side that serve human meat. And so, he's got a lot of good information, way more technical thing about their symbols and their, secret societies and their history than I do. But just, that's a big gap, the meat eating of the astral people. And other than that, I have tremendous respect for David.
Now, David went down to, I guess it was South America, and partook in some ayahuasca tea.
Yeah.
And that particular episode led you to make a statement that you thought that Icke may have received some bad information while under the influence of this tea. Can you discuss that a little bit?
He, in his reversals, he's talking about the voice that he heard speaking to him while under the influence of the tea. He refers to the voice as the serpent, and that she's lying. He'll lose the facts. That he did say that he was raped while he was under the influence, so they just remember that. And other things that I think that he was told things that were not true, like, for instance, they're not computer programs. He says they're computer programs brought on by the earth, which felt itself cut off from the source, and that's all wrong. He's got up until the ayahuasca tea, he was doing great. Yes, we're all holographic, but I can't comment too much on that. But he's off on some of his key things, as far as I'm concerned.
Now, you also have a problem with channeling now, having done all this research, where before you a lot of that channeled information you took to heart.
Right.